Hi, from tariffs to the growth of AI and a government shutdown, it has made uncertainty a new normal for the U.S. economy.
Okay, so instead of trying to predict what's going to happen next year, which we can't predict the future, right? We wish we could. Local financial instructor Michael Masserant says, control what you can from the Retirement Education Foundation, and he knows what we need to do to get our finances in order so we're prepared, so you can sleep at night no matter what happens in the markets or in the economy or in this world, right?
For sure. And that's, I mean, I wish we had a crystal ball. That'd make this a lot easier, but we don't. So that's really why it's so important to start mapping these things out. And a lot of people, as we hit upon the new year, a lot of people start thinking about New Year's resolutions, and for many people it's a financial goal. But before we look at 2026, do a quick recap on 2025. What were your goals for this year? Did you hit those goals? If you did, awesome. Try to beat those goals in 2026. If you didn't hit those goals, let's figure out why. If we didn't hit our savings goals, did we spend too much? Did we fall off in the second half of the year? What went wrong? Because we can learn from those mistakes and make better choices in 2026.
You know, it's one of those things, like if you're like me, I'm the type of guy that I have to start a diet on a Monday. I have to start a new routine on a Monday. I want to start fresh in the new year. Now, over the next 30 days, this is really that time to kind of take a look back and look ahead at what you want to do so on January 1, you can set yourself up for success.
For sure. And that's why, I mean, Dina, to your point, there's no crystal ball, but that's why the planning is so important. Because if you plan properly, you don't need to predict anything. If you understand, okay, 2026, I'm going to try to save for a car, then if you're saving for a car and you're going to use that money in the next 12 months, those dollars should not be in the stock market, because the stock market's unpredictable. Anything can happen in the next 12 months. So if you're going to spend that money in the next 12 months, put that money in a high yield savings account, and if the market does have a bad year in 2026, you still have your savings money for your car. Now, if we're talking about retirement savings, and we're not going to retire for 10 plus years, then throw those dollars in the stock market, because if the stock market does have a bad year, again, we can't predict that, it's okay, because those dollars still have time to recover and grow. But you don't know those things until you plan this out first.
So is that what you mean by rebalance your portfolio? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so making sure that you understand, okay, each of these dollars that I have my brokerage account, my savings account, my 401k, when am I using all these dollars? So plan that out, and then based on that plan, rebalance the investments based on those time frames, not based on who is winning an election, or not based on what's happening in the stock market or with the economy, but based on your personal goals and when you're spending that money.
It does help, and my husband takes a little bit of teasing for this, but he categorizes everything, so we know. Looking back at the year 2025, he'll be able to tell us how much did we spend on going out to dinner, which is a number that is, you don't like that number, trust me, because you don't feel like it's that much.
Right.
But then when you add it all up, and so that is a good way to really, when you have these categories, how much did I spend on travel, what I spend on going out to dinner, what I spend on shopping, what I spend on groceries, gas, it does help you kind of make a plan for next year.
And a lot of credit card companies will do that for you as well when you look at your balance sheet, but you got to look at it, right?
People say ignorance is bliss.
Where can I cut back? It doesn't work for you.
Right. Exactly, and that is, especially as we're hitting the end of the year, there are still some opportunities for tax planning for 2025. So if you're recognizing, wait a minute, I have some extra savings in my checking account, and I'm going to be, maybe paying a tax bill come April 2026 for 2025. Contribute to your traditional IRA or your Roth IRA, or increase your 401k contributions for the rest of this year to bring that tax bill down in 2026.
Yeah, make some last-minute contributions, right? Yeah. Okay.
Michael, don't go anywhere, okay? Because coming up in the next hour, we are going to talk about holiday budgets, all right? We want you to get gifts, but we don't want you to go nuts, right? And
don't want you to go into
regret it in January and February and March and April. And
yeah, but a lot of people start behind the 8 ball in 2026 because of that.
Right. So we'll go there.
We'll tackle it.